India Post-Independence Remnants and Political Thoughts, letter number 23. Dear friends and sisters, I talk to His Manak Chand Sanghi, Bangalore, Karnataka State. I will tell you the position and status of the Prime Minister of India. The Prime Minister of India is the political leader of the country and the principal head of government of the Republic of India. As per Constitution of India, the Prime Minister is the Chief of Government, Chief Advisor to the President, Head of the Council of Ministers, and the leader of the majority party in Parliament. The office holder is responsible for nominating all other members of the government. He chairs the cabinet meetings. The office of Prime Minister was created immediately after the establishment of India, according to the Indian Independence Act in 1947. Dr. Manmohan Singh was the 13th Prime Minister of India when the Indian National Congress came to power, forming the United Progressive Alliance UPA government for the first time after 2004 general elections. Dr. Manmohan Singh continued for the second term as Prime Minister following the victory in 2009 general elections and governed with the support of the UPA. He is the only Prime Minister since Jawaharlal Nehru to return to power after completing a full 5-year term and the first Sikh to hold the PM office. The occupation of Prime Minister post by Dr. Manmohan Singh was a dramatic and surprising, and Chairperson of Indian National Congress, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi UPA, declared Dr. Manmohan Singh a technocrat as the UPA candidate for the Prime Minister job, even though Dr. Manmohan Singh had never won a Lok Sabha seat. But for Dr. Manmohan Singh enjoyed a massive popular support as a clean politician untouched by the taint of corruption. He had earned this image of moral upmanship through his career, earlier successive bureaucratic service. Dr. Manmohan Singh is an honest, hard-working, renowned economist, most revered political leader, sober and soft-spoken, and of non-biased personality. I believe that Dr. Manmohan Singh is a saint like Guru Nanak Dev Ji, who believed in doing such a business where he went on spree of giving, tera, tera, tera. He is a true patriot of this country and has done a selfless service to this nation. He believes in doing his continuous welfare service to the people and the nation without caring for the criticism. During his 2 terms, the country has made a tremendous progress. The country has seen 4-fold growth in every sector. This country of snakes, as is often spoken by Sri Narendra Modi, our beloved Prime Minister, that this country makes the world dance on every day by click of a mouse. You know that other countries look towards us for doing a business with us because our country is a young country of 70 million people who are below an age of 30. You look any field like information technology, heavy engineering industries, high-tech industries, telecommunications industries, manufacture sector industries, government industries, and science and technology, etc., have made significant progress. We have made good progress in space technology. Overall, our relations with US have increased and are growing. Our foreign reserves have increased substantially from $1 billion of dollars to more than 300 billions of dollars. I will tell you about the early life of Dr. Manmohan Singh. Dr. Manmohan Singh, born in Gaha, now in Punjab, Pakistan. Dr. Manmohan Singh's family migrated to Amritsar, India during partition in 1947. He has obtained his doctorate in economics from Oxford University. Dr. Manmohan Singh worked for the United Nations from 1966 to 69. He began his bureaucratic career when Lalit Narayan Mishra hired him as an advisor in the Ministry of Foreign Trade. Dr. Manmohan Singh held several key posts in the Government of India during 1970s and 1980s. He served as Chief Economic Advisor 1972 to 1976, Reserve Bank Governor 1982 to 1985, and Planning Commission Head 1985 to 1987. India has faced a severe economic crisis in 1991. During this period, our newly elected Prime Minister Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao surprisingly inducted a non-political person, Dr. Manmohan Singh, into his cabinet as finance minister. For the next few years, despite strong opposition, Dr. Manmohan Singh carried out several structural reforms that has liberalized India's economy. Although these measures proved successful in averting the crisis, this has enhanced Dr. Manmohan Singh's reputation globally as a leading reform-minded economist. Indian National Congress did not fare well in the 1996 general elections. Dr. Manmohan Singh served as leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha during the Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government of 1998 to 2004. Congress-led United Progressive Alliance UPA won the general elections in 2004, and the government was formed under the premiership of Dr. Manmohan Singh under the title One Government. This government executed several key legislations and projects. The most publicized are the Rural Health Mission, Unique Identification Authority, Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, and Right to Information Act. A historic civil nuclear agreement with the United States was executed in 2008, which the nation was in need of such a step in the long run. The economy grew rapidly under the UPA 1 regime. The country's security was threatened by several terrorist acts incidents like 2008 Mumbai attacks and growing Maoist insurgency. In 2009, general elections saw the war return with an increased mandate, with Dr. Manmohan Singh retaining the office of Prime Minister. The Right to Information Act (RTI) is most useful and generally required by our countrymen for solving their legal problems. This law was passed by our Parliament on 15th June 2005 and came into force on 13th October 2005. Under the provisions of this Act, any citizen of India may request information from a public authority a government or instrumentally of state, which is required to be replied expeditiously or within 30 days. This act applies to all states and union territories of India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Under this act, every public authority has to computerize their records for wide dissemination and to proactively publish certain categories of the information so that the citizens need minimum recourse to request for information formally. The Supreme Court gave a ruling that disclosure of information with respect to functioning of the government must be a rule. Private bodies are not within the Act's ambit directly. It is noted that privatized public utility companies continue to be within the RTI Act, their privatization notwithstanding. As per the Central Information Commission, CIC, the political parties are public authorities and answerable to citizens under RTI Act. The CIC, a quasi-judicial body, has said that 6 national parties, Congress, BJP, NCP, CPIM, CPI and VSP, have been substantially funded indirectly by the central government, and they have the character of public authority under the RTI Act as they perform public functions. It is said that the Congress party tabled RTI Act Amendment Bill 2013 in Lok Sabha to keep political parties out of the RTI ambit. This bill referred to winter session of Parliament. The RTI process involves reactive disclosure of information by the authorities. RTI request initiates the process. Each authority covered by the RTI Act must appoint their public information officer, PIO. Any person may submit a written request to the PIO for information. It is the PIO's obligation to provide information to citizens of India who request information under the Act. If the request pertains to another public authority in whole or part, it is the PIO's responsibility to transfer or forward the concerned portions of the request to a PIO of the other authority within 5 working days. In addition, every public authority is required to designate Assistant Public Information Officers, APIOs, to receive RTI requests and appealing for forwarding to the PIOs of their public authority. The applicant is required to disclose his name and contact particulars, but not any other reasons or justification for seeking information. The Central Information Commission, CIC, acts upon complaints from those individuals who have not been able to submit information request to a Central Public Information Officer or State Public Information Officer due to either the officer not having been appointed or because the respective Central Assistant Public Information Officer or State Assistant Public Information Officer refused to receive the application for information. The Act specifies time limits for replying the request to the request. Number 1. If the request has been made to the PIO, the reply is to be given within 30 days of request. Number 2. If the request has been made to a PIO, the reply is to be given within 35 days of receipt. Number 3. If the PIO transfers the request to another public authority, the time allowed to reply is 30 days but computed from the day after it it is received by the PO of the transferring authority. Number 4. Information concerning corruption and human rights violation by scheduled security agencies is to be provided within 45 days, but with the prior approval of the Central Information Commission. Number 5. However, if life or liberty of any person is involved, the PIO is expected to reply within 48 hours. It is to be noted that such information is to be paid for. The reply of the PIO is necessarily limited to either denying the request or in whole and or part, or as for providing such information, the PIO is to compute the further fees. The time between the reply of the PIO and the time taken to deposit the further fees for the information is excluded from the time allowed. If the information is not provided within this period, it is treated as deemed refusal. Refusal with or without reasons may be ground for appeal or complaint. Further information not provided in the times prescribed is to be provided free of charge. Exclusion from RTI Act. Central agencies and security agencies specified in the second schedule like IB Directorate General of Income Tax Investigation, RAW, Central Bureau of Investigation CBI, Director of Revenue Intelligence, Central Economic Intelligence Bureau, Director of Information Enforcement, Narcotics Control Bureau, Aviation Research Center, Special Frontier Force, BSF, CRP, ITBP, CISF, and SG, Assam Rifles, Special Service Bureau, Special Branch CID, Andaman and Nicobar, Crime Branch CID, CB, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, and Special Branch Lakshadweep Police. Agencies specified by the state governments through a notification will also be excluded. Exclusion, however, is not absolute, and these organizations have an obligation to provide information pertaining to allegations of corruption and human rights violation. Further information relating to the allegations of human rights violation could be given, but only with the approval of the Central or State Information Commission. Information exclusions from RTI Act. The following is the exempt from disclosure under Section 8 of the Act. Number 1. Information disclosure of which would prejudicially affect the sovereignty and integrity of India, the security, strategic, scientific or economic interests of the state, relation with foreign state, or lead to incitement of an offence. Number 2. Information which has been expressly forbidden to be published by any court of law or tribunal, or the disclosure of which may constitute contempt of court. Number 3. Information, the disclosure of which would cause a breach of privilege of Parliament or the state legislature. Information including commercial confidence, trade secrets or intellectual property, and the disclosure of which would harm the competitive position of third party, unless the competent authority is satisfied that such larger public interest warrants the disclosure of such information. Number 5. Information available to a person in his fiduciary relationship, unless the competent authority is satisfied that the larger public interest warrants the disclosure of such information. Number 6. Information received in confidence from foreign government. Number 7. Information the disclosure of which would endanger the life or the physical safety of any person or identify the source of information or existence given in confidence for law enforcement or security purposes. Number 8. Information which would impede the process of investigation or apprehension or prosecution of offenders. Number 9. Cabinet papers including records of deliberation of the Council of Ministers, Secretaries and other officers. Number 10. Information which relates to personal information, the disclosure of which has no relationship to any public authority or an interest, or which would cause unwarranted invasion of the privacy of the individual. But it is also provided that the information which cannot be denied to the Parliament or a state legislator shall not be denied by this exemption. 11. Notwithstanding any of the exemptions listed above, a public authority may allow access to information if public interest is disclosure which outweighs the harm to be protected interest. However, this does not apply to disclosure of trade or commercial secrets protected by law. The RTI Act is so useful in our general life and is most conversant among our public life and so publicized so that everyone knows the applicability and usefulness of the Act. Dr. Manmohan Singh served as the Governor of RBI under then Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee and held this post until 1985. He took up the Deputy Chairmanship of the Planning Commission of India from 1985 to 1987. Following his tenure at the Planning Commission, he served as Secretary of the South Commission, an independent economic policy think tank headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland from 1987 to November 1990. Dr. Manmohan Singh returned from Geneva in November 1990 to India. He has held the post as the advisor to Prime Minister of India on economic affairs during the tenure of Sri V.P. Singh. He became chairman of the Union Public Service Commission and subsequently became chairman of University Grants Commission. In a dramatic move, in 1991, Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao, then Prime Minister of India, chose Dr. Manmohan Singh to become his finance minister. That is how he entered into the cabinet of ministers and the politics. It is said that at this time, India was facing an economic crisis. India's fiscal deficit was near 8.5% of the gross domestic product. The balance of payment deficit was huge and the current account deficit was close to 3.5% of India's GDP. India's foreign reserves were barely amounted to $1 billion, which were enough to pay for a few weeks of imports, which in comparison is now more than $300 billion. At that time, the government of India sought relief from the supernatural International Monetary Fund (IMF). In return, IMF imposed several conditions regarding India's economic policy, that is, dismantling of the ubiquitous license Raj and a state-controlled economy had to end. Accordingly, Dr. Manmohan Singh, who had thus far been one of the most influential architects of India's socialist economy slowly opened the India's economy to foreign investment and business competition. Dr. Manmohan Singh thus implemented policies to open up the economy and change India's economy to a more capitalistic one, which encouraged the private investments. In this process, so many obstacles standing in the way of FDI were removed. The process of the privatization of public sector companies were undertaken. Because of these reforms, India's economy pushed to a market drive on one. But Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao's government were voted out in 1996 due to non-performance of government in other areas. Dr. Manmohan Singh offered his resignation from the post of finance minister after a parliamentary investigation report which criticized his ministry for not being able to anticipate a $1.8 billion security scandal. Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao did not accept Dr. Manmohan Singh's resignation but instead promised to punish the individuals directly accused in the report. You can understand the integrity of Dr. Manmohan Singh, which he always vested in him. Dr. Manmohan Singh was first elected to the upper house of parliament, the Raj Sabha, in 1991 by the legislature of Assam, state of Assam, and was re-elected in 1995, 2001, 2007 and 2013. Dr. Manmohan Singh was the leader of the opposition in Raj Sabha in 1999, and the BJP was in power under the leadership of Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the then Prime Minister of India. He contested for the Lok Sabha from South Delhi but was not unable to win the parliamentary seat. It is notable that during Dr. Manmohan Singh's tenure as Prime Minister, he liberalized the Indian economy and allowed it to speed up development dramatically. Dr. Manmohan Singh continued to encourage growth in the Indian market, enjoyed widespread success in these matters. You know that Indian economy has grown with an 8 to 9% economic growth rate. It is said that India achieved its highest GDP growth rate of 9% and became the second fastest growing major economy in the world. Dr. Manmohan Singh's government has continued the Golden Quadrilateral and the National Highway Modernization Program that was initiated by Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government. Dr. Manmohan Singh was also instrumental on working for reforms in banking and financial sectors as well as public sector companies. During this term, the Finance Ministry has worked towards relieving farmers of their debts, which was nearly about 60,000 crores. Pro-industry policies were undertaken to achieve the desired growth. In a major decision, Dr. Manmohan Singh's government introduced the value-added tax VAT throughout the country, replacing sales tax in 2005. The global problem of inflation impacted India in 2007 and early 2008. Dr. Manmohan Singh's government started the National Rural Health Mission in 2005, which has mobilized 500,000 health workers. This rural health initiative was praised by so many international economists. Dr. Manmohan Singh's government has implemented the proposal to reserve 27% of seats in All India Institute of Medical Sciences (AIMS) The Indian Institute of Management (IIMs) and other central institutions of higher education for backward classes in 2006. This has led to widespread anti-reservation protests in 2006 all over the country. I feel that this step was reasonable because till we do not bring up the society to a level where the communities do not find inequality within themselves. 88 more IITs were opened in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Gujarat, Odisha, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Himachal Pradesh. Sar Shiksha Abhiyan program continued Dr. Manmohan Singh's government tenure. Midday meals scheme was introduced and improvement of the program were undertaken. The schools were opened up all over the world, all over the country, especially in rural areas to fight illiteracy on mass scale. Dr. Manmohan Singh's government has been instrumental in strengthening anti-terror laws with amendments to Unlawful Activities Preventive Act. National Investigation Agency (NIA) was formed soon after the November 2008 Mumbai Terror Attacks, which was a central agency to combat terrorism, and the need of such agency was realized. Unique Identification Authority of India was established in February 2009. Under this program, an agency was made responsible for implementing the envisioned multi-purpose national identity card with the objective of increasing national security and facilitating e-governance. Dr. Manmohan Singh's administration had initiated a massive reconstruction effort in Kashmir to stabilize the region. But after some period of success, insurgent infiltration and terrorism in Kashmir has increased since 2009. However, he has been successful in reducing terrorism in northeast region. The most successful legislations were passed by the Parliament in 2005, like National Employment Guarantee Act (NREGA) and the Right to Information Act during his tenure. The effectiveness of the NREG has been successful at various degrees and in various regions. The Right to Information Act has proved crucial in India's fight against corruption in government circles. Dr. Manmohan Singh has continued the pragmatic foreign policy that was started by Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao and continued by BJP's Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government. Dr. Manmohan Singh has continued the peace process with Pakistan initiated by his predecessor, Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Under this policy, exchange of high-level visits by top leaders from both countries were taken place. Efforts have been made during Dr. Manmohan Singh's tenure to end the border dispute with People's Chinese Republic of China. Chinese President Hu Jintao visited India in November 2006. Dr. Manmohan Singh visited Beijing to have discussions with Chinese leader in January 2008. This witnessed a major development in Sino-Indian relations that Nathula Pass was reopened in 2006 after being closed for more than 4 decades. It is noted that People's Republic of China is the second biggest trade partner as of 2010. The relations with Afghanistan have improved significantly. India have become the largest regional donor to Afghanistan. Afghan President Mr. Hamid Karzai visited New Delhi in August 2008. Dr. Manmohan Singh's government has increased the aid package to Afghanistan for the development of more schools, health clinics, infrastructure and defense. That is why, under the leadership of Dr. Manmohan Singh, India has emerged as one of the single largest aid donors to Afghanistan. I will say that Dr. Manmohan Singh's government was keen on working towards stronger ties with the United States. He visited the United States in July 2005, initiating negotiations over the Indo-US civilian nuclear agreement. I cannot forget that Dr. Manmohan Singh's government welcomed George W. Bush, President of USA visit to India in March 2006. Mr. George W. Bush, USA President, was very happy over the arrangement, and then the declaration over the nuclear agreement was made, giving India access to American nuclear fuel and technology were possible. While India have to allow IAEA inspection of its civilian nuclear reactors. After more than 2 years of negotiations and the approval of IAEA, Nuclear Suppliers Group and the US Congress, India and US signed the agreement on 10th October 2008 with Pranab Mukherjee, the then Finance Minister of India. Dr. Manmohan Singh had the first official state visit to the White House during the administration of US President Sri Barack Obama, which took place in November 2008, and several discussions took place, including on trade and nuclear power. Our relations have improved with Japan and European Union countries like the United Kingdom, France and Germany. Our relations with Iran have continued, and negotiations over the Iran-Pakistan-India gas pipeline have taken place. New Delhi hosted an India-Africa summit in April 2006, which was attended by the leaders of 15 African states. Relations have improved with the other developing countries, particularly Brazil and South Africa. Dr. Manmohan Singh government has also been especially keen on expanding ties with Israel. Since 2003, the two countries have made significant investment in each other's country. Israel was India's defense partner, rival of Russia in supplies of defense, though there have been a few diplomatic glitches between India and Russia, especially over the delay and price hike of several Russian weapons to be delivered to India. But the relations between the two countries remained strong, with India and Russia signing various agreements to increase defense, nuclear, energy and space cooperation. 15th Lok Sabha general elections were held in 5 phases between 16th April 2009 and 13th May 2009. Results of the elections were announced on 16 May 2009. United Progress Alliance UPA shone strong in elections in Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, West Bengal and Uttar Pradesh for the formation of new government under the leadership of Dr. Manmohan Singh, who became the first Prime Minister since Jawaharlal Nehru to win re-election after completing a full 5-year term. Indian National Congress and its allies were able to put together a comfortable majority support of 322 members out of 543 members of the parliament. These include those of the UPA and the external support from the Bahujan Samaj Party BSP, Samajwadi Party SP, Janata Dal Secular JDS, Rashtriya Janata Dal RJD and other minor parties. Dr. Manmohan Singh was sworn in as the Prime Minister on 22nd May 2009 during a ceremony held at Rashtrapati Bhavan as 14th Prime Minister. It is noted that 2009 general election was the largest democratic elections in the world, held with an eligible electorate of 740 million. Dr. Manmohan Singh was alleged in the 2012 CAG report filed in Parliament of House. It stated due to the allocation of coal blocks to certain private companies without bidding process, the country suffered an estimated loss of 1.85 lakhs crores between 2005 to 2009 when Dr. Manmohan Singh was holding Coal Ministry of India. I will inform you that food security bill was passed during his prime ministership tenureship. This ensured food security to all, which the countryman deserves after independence of 65 years. Dr. Manmohan Singh denied to appear before the Joint Parliamentary Committee in April 2013 when called upon by one of the members of JPC, Yashwant Sinha, for his alleged involvement of the 2G spectrum. I personally feel that whatever has been alleged against Dr. Manmohan Singh is either politically motivated or just talking nonsense against anybody, which must be not tolerated. I am very clear that Dr. Manmohan Singh was perceived as a man of clean background. He is seen as a man of few words and a man of uncommon decency and grace. I will tell you a best example of integrity. You cannot get such a person who occupied the country's highest office. Dr. Manmohan Singh was respected by other heads of states, describing him as the leader the other leaders love. Some remarked that Dr. Manmohan Singh was a model of what a political leader should have. He is universally praised as India's best Prime Minister since Jawaharlal Nehru. Some praised him as one of the greatest statesmen in Asian history. Dr. Manmohan Singh's public image has been tarnished after the start of his second term in 2009, with his government having been accused of several corruption scandals. But being as Prime Minister, he cannot openly come out of this. Anyhow, all these issues, the country has made a tremendous progress within 10 years of his tenure. It is generally understood that most of the senior Congress leaders thought that whatever the country has made such a development, progress and growth was due to the efforts undertaken by Congress party. They mistook India as shining. Because of them, as the BJP misjudged the same after Atal Bihari Vajpayee's term. The people at large was unhappy due to the corruption prevailing in the country. Nothing could happen until you have easy access to bureaucracy or have a money power to solve your issues. Top leaders in Congress party has forgotten to have a contact with common people at grassroots levels. They felt that they are going to vote themselves and winning the elections and forgotten the voice of people at village level, taluk level, district level and state level, etc. Another point is that they did not opt to go to the electorate with the future contender for the prime ministership job. They did not give any credence to Dr. Manmohan Singh's work, which meant as a negative performance for Congress party as a whole. Dr. Manmohan Singh was not a seat warmer, but this criticism has degraded the reputation of Prime Minister of Congress party. Dr. Manmohan Singh's tenure exports and increase substantially. I want to tell you that if our country reduces the gap in trade deficit and controls the physical deficit to a great extent, our nation can amuse the fruit of good development and become economically strong. Dr. Manmohan Singh married Gurcharan Kaur in 1958. They have three daughters, Upinder Singh, Daman Singh and Amrit Singh. Dr. Manmohan Singh has undergone multiple cardiac bypass surgeries, the most recent of which took place in January 2009. Dr. Manmohan Singh's personal assets amount to 5 crores of rupees. He has property worth 1.8 crores, a rupees 90 lakhs house in Chandigarh and a rupees 88 lakh apartment in Vasant Kunj in Delhi. His bank deposit amount to 3.20 crores. The results of 2014 general election to the Lok Sabha were declared on 14th May 2014. Congress party suffered a huge loss of seats, even not retaining the leadership of opposition in the parliament. Dr. Manmohan Singh resigned as Prime Minister on 17th May 2014 but served as acting Prime Minister till 25th May 2014. Punjab University, Chandigarh awarded Dr. Manmohan Singh Doctor of Letters in March 1983 and created a chair in their economics department in 2009. The University of Alberta awarded him honorary degree of law degree in 1997. The University of Oxford awarded him honorary Doctor of Civil Law degree in July 2005. The University of Cambridge awarded with the same honor in 2006. St. John's College further honored him by naming a PhD scholarship after him, the Dr. Manmohan Singh Scholarship. He was awarded honorary Doctor of Letters degree by Banaras University in 2008. The University of Madras has awarded him an honorary doctorate degree in later 2008. He was awarded honorary doctorate degree by King Sood University in 2010. Dr. Manmohan Singh was a great son of India, who has dedicated his services to the welfare of common people and the nation. I humbly request you to spell the following godly words with me. Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru Ji, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru Ji, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru Ji, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru Ji. Om Namo Shivaya, Om Namo Shivaya, Om Namo Shivaya, Om Namo Shivaya. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Om Sri Venkateshwaraya Namah, Om Sri Venkateshwaraya Namah, Om Sri Venkateshwaraya Namah, Om Sri Venkateshwaraya Namah, Om Sri Venkateshwaraya Namah.